Okay, so there's just so much noise out there, isn't there? Let's try and cut through some of it today with something, well, something quite revealing, I think.
Definitely. We're diving into how Chinese manufacturers are giving us this peek behind the curtain on luxury goods pricing, mostly using TikTok, actually.
TikTok, right. We pulled info from places like Yahoo News, other reports, and TikTok itself. That hashtag luxury hashtag has, what, millions of posts?
Over 5.3 million, yeah. It's huge.
And the first thing that hits you is just the massive gap, the supposed cost to make something versus what we actually pay.
Exactly. Think Lululemon leggings maybe $5 or $6 to produce, they say?
But they sell for $100. And what about that Birkin bag example?
Yeah, the numbers thrown around are maybe $1,000 to make, but it sells for, $38,000 or even more.
So you have to ask, are these markups legit? Or is there something else going on here? It feels a bit off.
Well, what's interesting is how they're doing it. It's these TikTok videos, right? Factory tours, cost breakdowns, this whole trade war TikTok thing.
They wore TikTok.
Huh? Yeah, and they often show like a branded item next to an unbranded one, and honestly, they look almost identical. The implication is pretty clear.
That you're paying mostly for the label, not necessarily a massively different product.
Pretty much. And consumers are. Well, they're reacting. There's definitely some outrage.
I bet. But is it changing buying habits?
Seems like it. We're seeing stats like over half of luxury buyers on TikTok say they buy more often now, and about 2/3 are more likely to buy luxury stuff they see on the platform.
Hmm. So is this transparency a good thing, empowering people? Or is it just, pushing everyone towards cheaper knockoffs, maybe? Risking authenticity?
That's the big question. And it ties into this wider trend we're seeing with Chinese OEMs, original equipment manufacturers,
Okay.
especially in EVs, electric vehicles, but elsewhere too. They're trying to go direct to consumer, DTC.
Cutting out the middleman.
Exactly. Skip the traditional retail steps. The idea is, lower costs for everyone. Plus, they get direct customer contact, personalized marketing.
Better inventory control, maybe better service.
Potentially, yeah. The stats suggest it's a serious move, something like 87% planning local partnerships for sales, 75% looking to build their own sales networks overseas.
Wow. So when you see that and the TikTok stuff, it starts to look like maybe a deliberate strategy, doesn't it?
It's hard not to see a connection, a way to bypass the old guard, the traditional retailers, and just reach consumers directly, globally.
And then there's the whole trade angle, the tariffs.
Right, you can't ignore that, particularly this de minimis rule.
That's the one letting goods under, what, $800 come in duty-free.
Yeah, under $800. And it's being heavily used, especially for shipments from China. There have been efforts like under Trump to clamp down, adding tariffs and requiring more detailed customs info.
Section 301 tariffs, all that. Trying to level the playing field, supposedly.
Supposedly. But cynically, you wonder if it really works.
Or if it just makes companies shift production. Move making stuff to Vietnam or India or somewhere else to get around the tariffs on Chinese goods.
It often just creates new loopholes, right? It's like a constant cat and mouse game.
So for us, the consumers,
Mm.
what's the bottom line? Cheaper stuff, maybe.
Well, possibly. Lower prices could be a benefit. But there are huge risks, too. Increased skepticism is one thing.
And counterfeits.
Yeah.
That seems like a massive issue here.
The huge issue. Because, let's be honest, genuine luxury manufacturers typically don't sell directly through random TikTok accounts.
Right. Lululemon even came out and said only a small bit of their stuff is actually made in China, and they warned about fakes.
Exactly. And with so many videos, some apparently inaccurate ones getting taken down, it just creates confusion. It's easy to get misled.
So are we really getting transparency, or are we just wading into a marketplace where it's harder and harder to know what's real?
It really challenges the whole idea of luxury value, doesn't it? When you see these potential markups laid bare, even if the info isn't always perfect.
It makes you question what you're actually paying for. The brand,
Yeah.
the quality, the experience, or just inflated hype.
Yeah, it puts the consumer in a tough spot. You've got this promise of maybe getting things cheaper more directly.
But with a much bigger risk of getting ripped off or buying something fake. Transparency versus deception.
It's a real tightrope walk.
So wrapping this up, for everyone listening, it really makes you think, how should we read